Welcome to Dark Sorcery. My name is Alfredo Martinez, and I have here one of my admins, Ikela Morningstar.
Hello.
And welcome to our new weekly series we started called DreamCatcherz. This is so we have the live stream, and DreamCatcherz will be short discussions between Ikela and I, bullshitting, talking about different topics. So yeah. Welcome to the show, and today's this week's topic is intuition. It's something that we both decided to go ahead and speak on. So, Ikela, as far as intuition goes, what would be your definition of intuition?
So intuition is acquiring knowledge without proof or evidence or conscious reasoning in different forms. So there's different ways that you can, pick up on intuition. So you may call it your gut instinct. I get information in several different ways. So there's several different ways that you can get those messages. I'm always evaluating things. And with me, the struggle really is, honestly, because we're humans and we want to make reasoning out of it, is that you'll get like a message, like whether you get a vision, a thought, a sound, or you connect with, the forest or whatever, however it comes to you. And sometimes it can be like, oh man, but I can't prove that. You know what I mean? But it always is right. Mine is always right. And so I've learned to try to trust it, but I usually sit back and wait. I sit back and wait before I bust a move. And I've had people like in past relationships, like narcissists, try to tell me I was crazy and stuff. And then it would always come out exactly the way I saw it. So it's a tricky situation, especially if you're getting messages about somebody or something or a corporation or something. You don't have proof to, talk to them about it, because they'll just say you're crazy.
Right. But see, the thing is that I noticed that when intuition comes in certain ways like that, it's for a certain reason. So, they may consciously become aware of it. They may subconsciously become aware of it in another way. But ultimately, what's done is for a reason. And I've noticed that, with intuition with me, it'll come in different forms. It may come in the form of a book I read. It may come in the form of somebody I talk to that gives me a message. So maybe I may be just walking through an alleyway, and there's something there. There's something on the floor. There's something that somebody I talk to. Sometimes I get an epiphany. So yeah, I do agree with you that it can come in many different forms. And and I've noticed that it's something that is very what's the word I want to use? Something that's very known to the average person, whether they want to admit it or not, whether they're claimed to be spiritual or not. Everybody has intuition. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I would have to agree. And but I also have my own ideas about that. I feel like some of us have more gifts and it's passed down genetically. That's my own view on it based off of all the information and experiences that I've had. For instance, I have a lot of spiritual gifts handed down throughout my ancestors, and the ancestors are directly connected with me. And so my brother, on the other hand, is not very tuned in and connected and doesn't have those gifts. I've noticed with my daughter, I've also handed those gifts to her. So she's able to connect with spirits, has visions, can I was reading a book one day, and she had never read the book and quoted actual pages out of it, just different experiences. I already know that she has those gifts. So I do believe that some of us are a little bit more tapped in, and I do believe that some of us are chosen for a specific reason by our ancestors. But that's my own idea and thoughts about it.
Yeah. I mean, me hearing about, stuff that your daughter does is just amazing, and the spiritual gifts that she has. And yeah, it is amazing. I mean, it's nice to see that, kind of passed on generationally, I should say, excuse me. But yeah, some people I've noticed that they'll get intuition, but then they'll try to interpret it away. I mean, first of all, no matter what walk of life you come from, you do have intuition. It's there. It's part of being human. But on the other hand, there are those people who try to deny it, and though they're in self-denial, and they try to explain it as something else. And then, they try to, I don't know, they may speak on that to somebody else, and it may cause, some malefic ramifications. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, and just the thought that I was getting right now when you're saying that is mental illnesses and spirituality and gifts. And so I don't know. I'm sure you've heard of tribes and stuff that not in Western culture, but in other parts of the world that believe that mental illness is actually spirits and different things going on, and you're going through this awakening. And, for me, I'm diagnosed with ADHD, and they've tried to diagnose me with schizophrenia and all this stuff. But, sometimes I do hear spirits, or sometimes I do see them, or, different things like that. But a lot of us are misdiagnosed. And so, yeah, they can say it's this, but in my heart, I know it's not. And so I think a lot of people get screwed up with that. And you got to be careful on who you tell what nowadays. Sometimes it can really get screwed up. And like I said, you get labeled as crazy. And so now that we're in this community and, the cult community and spirituality and stuff, it's a safe place where we can be free and talk about it and like say, oh, you know what? You got the same thing going on. I mean, it's kind of like when me and you connected a couple of years ago. It's like, we really understood each other, and we had that connection and stuff like that. And so I think that's important. And I think that you can't always tell everybody.
Yeah. I mean, I think intuition would probably be one of the first topics we began speaking on when we became friends. When back in the day, and we started talking to each other, and I think that's one thing that made it so that it was easy for us to become friends. Is that we both have a deep understanding of intuition, and it's just the way that you explain it, and I like it how it ties into your Native American culture.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just curious about that. What do the traditional Native Americans have to say about intuition?
Well, I mean, as far as intuition goes, I mean, if I'm feeling troubled and stuff, I go out into nature. So I'll go to the river, I'll go to the forest. I do that because that's where I get my answers. I get my answers from the trees, from the flowers, from the water, from the animals, from the sky. I actually get visions in the sky from the clouds. So it's like messages come to me from the clouds. So if I'm really troubled, if I really need to get answers from my ancestors, that's where I go. I go directly into nature. I can see visions in the water. I just go out there and just connect with it. And that's kind of how we interpret intuition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what I think is interesting is that, that if the gods are trying to get a message to you, they will do it, through different means, like you say, through the water or through, nature or whatever. And I always thought that, I'm not really quick to judge people, because people are experiencing it in different ways. Now you said that your ancestors have a lot of influence on your intuition.
Mm-hmm.
How would you tie your ancestors in with that, as far to differ as far as the average person would say? Let's say, explain it the way you do.
I'm not sure what you mean. Meaning, like, if other people call it something else?
Well, really, I lost my train of thought.
Okay, well, I can comment as far as what I think you're saying. So it depends on how evolved a person is spiritually to know what it is. So some people say my spirit guides, my this, my that, my this. I have had some really deep experiences that I've shared with you, as far as talking to my ancestors directly, knowing them by name.
Right.
I have some spirit guides that I know by name, and I call one of them the projector lady, because she'll send images out to me, and sometimes she's really a character. But so I think it has to be for instance, if someone's new to spirituality, they might read up on something and say, that's my spirit guide, right? But my experiences have been ones that I've experienced for myself and I know them to be true, not because I read it out of a book. Of course, I study. Everybody should study, but don't just take everything you study at face value, and then go with your intuition. What feels right when they're saying something? What doesn't feel right? And so that's why I consider myself eclectic, because I take stuff from everywhere. Obviously, I don't follow the entire Native American path, or I wouldn't be in this group. You know what I mean? Because that can be frowned upon too. So I do me. I have my own path, and obviously I take stuff from my own Native American heritage and stuff, but I also take stuff from everywhere else.
Yeah.
So
it's
I don't know if I answered your question or not.
You did. Okay. You did. But like with myself, I have different as far as my influences and way of thinking has been influenced from different parts. I mean, different areas. I mean, like take for instance, me having me being Hispanic, and having a Mexican background, and then somebody who meets me who doesn't know me, if they assume I'm Catholic, and they'll be like, well, I tell them, what I'm about, and they'll be like, well, you should have a rosary on, or they don't say it, but they'll give me that look. Like, you don't fit the stereotype. Like your face tells me one way, but you're all, you're spiritual like that. Like what? Like, so it's all about, being an individual and yeah, you're right. Not following an entire pantheon or path or influence. So yeah, I mean, I'd have to agree with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this has been a great discussion. Little food for thought for those out there. But yeah, we'll.
You know what? There's one more area that we can hit with this. Is that for me, my gifts and the intuition, it's, I always say it's a gift and a curse, because it can drive you crazy. Well, because for me, it's like sometimes I don't want to know stuff. Like I would rather not know this. Like if this were to just disappeared and I could have moved on with my life, like that would have been so much better. But now I know this. Now I have anxiety, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with it. So, messages will come up to me, like I'll be vacuuming, and then I'll be like, oh, motherfucker. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I'll be like, caught you.
Yeah.
And sometimes it drives me crazy, because, like I'll be at work and I'm doing my technical support, and I'm getting messages or whatever, and I have to tell them, I'm sorry, can you repeat that? Because I didn't hear a damn word you said. You know what I mean? And it's hard, because for me, it's really hard to manage my life, because I'm trying to be normal, like go to work, be a mom, clean my house and stuff, dude. But all throughout the day, I have all this shit happening to me.
Yeah.
And so it's a constant battle of trying to balance, like work, spirituality, being a mom, trying to have my personal life, and trying to learn new shit. You know what I mean? And it's funny, because I was talking to my therapist about it. I was like, every day I feel like I'm trying to get my shit together. She's like, me too. Like, we're all trying to get our shit together. Like, none of us have our shit together. Because at the end of the day, we always have to put something else on the back burner to do something else. You know what I mean? It's like, so like lately I've been focusing on this, and I'm also studying Reiki. And then sometimes I have to put my exercise on the back burner, because I'm only one person. You know what I mean? I can't do it all.
Right.
It's like, it's fucking madness. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how it is for me. Like, you know what I mean? I'm fucking crazy.
Yeah. And I know what you mean when certain things come to you, and it's like, I didn't ask to know that, but now I know. And it's like, oh shit, what do I do now? Like, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut, and I'm gonna go about it the way that I feel that it's meant for me to go about it. If it's meant, even though,
like, what the fuck do I do with this information?
Yeah. It's like, oh shit, now what? But yeah. But that's, and then trying to juggle everything. I mean, yeah, I can relate to that too. I mean, I don't have kids and stuff like that, but I do have, of course, I have my job and my apartment and all that.
And you got your nephew that you're really close with.
Yeah, I got my.
So
I got
may
my
not have
nephew.
a kid, but he's like a kid to you.
He is like a kid. I mean, he looks up. I mean, I remember when me and him, when he was a toddler, And he ran up and gave me a hug. He goes, "You're my best friend." You know,
Oh, that's so sweet.
yeah, that made my heart melt. You know, at the time I was deep into hard drug use and other stuff, and I was like, you know, I had to tell myself that I need to change my lifestyle or I'm gonna die soon, and that's gonna break his heart.
Yeah.
So I mean, if it wasn't for that, you know, I wouldn't be here. I'd have died a long time ago, whether it had been on drugs or gotten killed somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that the gods will bring certain people into your life and will make you experience certain hard decisions to teach you things like, hey, you know, now I want to bring you to a deeper level of understanding.
Mm-hmm.
And that's helped me grow a lot. So yeah, that's definitely true.
Yeah.
But
and I think it's amazing too, like you're always open. Like I think it's great because you know, a lot of people get into the occult or spirituality and they get closed-minded and they think this is the way and the only way. But what I liked about you was that you're very open and you're like, wow, you listen to me and you're like, oh, let me hear more. And then I hear some of the stuff that you know that maybe I haven't gotten into as much and I want to learn and I want to know more. And I think that the rest of the admin kind of feel the same way. Like we're here to teach and learn and we're always going to learn. Like that never stops. You know what I mean?
yeah, and I think that's the way it should be. I mean, yeah, you know, Dark Sorcery's out there and whatever, and I've been teaching, but I wanted to feature other people, and I'm like, you know, there's other people that people in this group can learn from. And we highlight what they know, you know. But yeah, it's thank you for the compliment. I do believe in being open. I don't believe in like, take for instance, if somebody messages me, I'll try to get to them as soon as I can. If I can't, I'll try to message them. And you know, I get so many messages that there's been some people that have messaged me, I didn't have time to get back to them, or I didn't realize that they had messaged me, and you know, they think that I just blew them off or whatever. But you know, but it's not like that. But I, you know, anytime any of you admins need me, you know, I'm here. You know, you guys know you can text me, you know, call me, whatever. But yeah, and I do believe that everybody, because I mean, it could be one thing in the group if I'm teaching them and they're learning from me, but everybody else, you know, you have 5, 6 other people in there. People
in different ways, yeah.
Everyone can, because I may not be able to help somebody the same way that you can, or DH can, or you know, JB Perry, Waylon, Sutek, all that. But yeah, that's got a very deep meaning. Well, anything else you'd like to throw in our discussion?
No, but I do have an idea for next week's discussion. I think we should do one on techniques on how to tap into the intuition when you're getting messages, on how to basically come to a conclusion. Like, okay, you got the message. Now what do you do with it? Because I have some spirits talking to me right now, so I have some stuff for next week.
Okay, that'll be the topic for next week.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, tune in for that. But you know, it's Alfredo Martinez, Ikela Morningstar from Dark Sorcery. This is DreamCatcherz. First stream, first episode, but look out for us next week. Check out for us on the live stream. I know on this Saturday I'm planning on being on the live stream. Ikela?
Yeah, I plan on being in the live stream. When is it?
Saturday.
Is it Saturday? Okay.
It's Saturday, you know. As time approaches, we'll discuss it more, whether it's through chat or meeting or whatever. But so to all of our brothers and sisters at home, until next time, dark blessings.
Dark blessings.